With Overwatch competitive right around the corner, I just thought I would make a quick video on some tips on hopefully what will help you improve. So the first tip, what you want to do is go into your options, go into your sound settings, and go down to the very bottom, which should say Dolby Atmos for headphones. With that, you want that on. What that will do is, if you don't know what Atmos is, it's probably better to YouTube what it actually does. It's basically, it will make you hear footsteps louder, it will make you recognize where their positions are better. So if someone's actually at the top left of you, they'll actually sound like they're above at the top left instead of sounding like they're, if they're, say, like behind you at the top left, they won't actually, it will just sound like they're behind you because that's 7.1, where the Atmos will actually sound like they are actually above you, which is cool, kind of helps you out a bit. Next up, we've got Soldier 76, who is basically, you know, he is the be-all and end-all of Overwatch, in my opinion. He's probably the best character in every single role. He fits support, he fits a damage dealer, he's generally kind of tanky with his heal. He can win pretty much every matchup standing in his way, except from maybe Roadhog and Reaper up close. Other than that, he kind of stomps pretty much everyone. Also, he has a spray range of, I think it's about 5 bullets before it actually jumps out. I think the 5th bullet actually jumps out in his reticule. So if you just learn to shoot every 4 bullets or 4 or 5 bullets and then let go of your mouse click and then repress, your shots will actually be dead central. So that's a good tip for obviously taking out, say, like a Widow or a Pharah when she's in the sky, or pretty much anyone when you're in like an actual one-on-one from a decent range. Other than that, when you're versing like a tank or something, you can pretty much spray straight into his body and it does a fair decent amount of damage to the guy. So in my opinion, Soldier is really strong. And he's definitely someone you're gonna have to learn if you haven't learned him already. He is a COD version, he's the COD aspect to the game, so everyone should be able to pick up on him very easily. He's got a heal, so he doesn't need a support. He's got high damage and high burst, so he can outburst pretty much anyone. He sprints, so he's mostly faster than pretty much everyone, except from maybe Lucio and Tracer. So he pretty much works as an all-rounder, and you can even go 6 soldiers and it will be kind of okay. It more than likely probably mess up in the long run when they start trying to counter you, but as a surprise, 6 soldiers is fine. Wouldn't recommend it, but 6 soldiers is fine. I would probably recommend, if you don't know what to play, probably Soldier. And we've got, after that, we've got basically the king of all hassle. Every time you're at a stress zone, unless it's against a Reaper or Roadhog, this is your man to pick. It would be Winston. Winston can jump onto any single backline, gap closes from anything, dominant against versing Widows, literally destroys a Widow. Destroys most people in one-on-ones, except from up close, obviously like a Reaper or Roadhog. Other than that, he's got his shield, so he's quite protected. He's tanky himself, so that's okay. When he ults, he has 1,000 health, so that's really good. Doesn't have much damage when he ults, it's literally there just to cause havoc. So jumping onto a backline with your ult and starting to slap people around, that's kind of a good idea. 2 Winstons is just complete insane. 2 Winstons can take over a game so easily, it's unreal. If you can make a Widow and a Genji irrelevant, you're pretty much making most of a team irrelevant. McCree can't beat in one-on-one now that McCree's been nerfed, so McCree kind of loses to him as well, and you're pretty much the killer of all offensive. Good for payload stopping. You can jump straight on top of the payload and immediately put your shield down. You're then protected unless they come in it. Obviously they can break the shield, like it isn't impossible. I'd probably say his weakest person he's against is probably Bastion. Bastion can pretty much melt the shield in about a second and a half, which isn't good. Obviously if they have a Bastion, watch out, don't aim him because he'll beat you one-on-one. In fact, when he's set up, jumping on top of him, he will still beat you. So that's just something to note, unless you play the shield maybe right. I don't actually know that trade up, but If he has a clear sight of you and you have a clear sight of him, he will win. So just make sure you don't jump into a suicide trap. But other than that, Winston is your man, and if you can possibly go double Winston, that is just conquer. Another character which is vital to team comps is Reinhardt. Reinhardt and Lucio. Lucio is really strong, automatic heal, and he can switch that onto a speed boost if wanted to. He also does a lot of damage, so fair play to the guy. He is going to be in most comps. Look out for him and or play him if you must. He is really strong. Reinhardt, he is needed in every single comp, defending or attacking. Reinhardt is basically your wall. No one gets through that guy as long as they have a defense. No one gets past that guy as long as they have a defense. So when you're pushing, you need him because he's your wall to push. When you're defending, you need him because he's your wall that they're going to be trying to push against. You will have to see him in play. Make sure you know how to play him. He is vital to pretty much every single team. Okay, this is more just a prediction. It's going to be more Bastion play. Yeah, I reckon you're going to see a lot more Bastion play in a competitive environment. Bastion does so much damage. He can destroy a Reinhardt shield. He can destroy pretty much anyone. He is immobile when he's doing it, but who really cares when they're dead by the time they get to him? Genji is his only counter. You can just pick Genji, you know, just to block the shots back at him and then swap back. If you want to play Genji, by all means play Genji. It takes more time to learn. I have a friend who's generally really good at Genji, so Bastion's not really a problem to us anymore. But Genji would probably be your pick to counter that. But a surprise Bastion is the best Bastion. If you are defending and you're more on the losing end of defending, definitely pick up a Bastion and go for a stealth play. If you can get the stealth play, you will do a team wipe so quick. They will have nothing to stop it. Most teams don't expect a Bastion sneak play to come. Even if you watch competitive now, a lot of attacking teams will even rush your Bastion sneak play because no one sees it coming. There's no way to counter it if he can set himself up, unless you have obviously a Genji that immediately jumps on him. But you will see teams, what a lot of teams are doing in competitive as well, will be they get a Bastion, get a Lucio, immediately knock him out to the door, get him to a location where he can set up, and then he'll just go off. And with that, if you're going for the first point on, say, a assault / escort level, like King's Row, definitely King's Row, you can run straight out that door and immediately take out their whole team. They have nothing to do and you've just scored yourself a lot of time. Also, what you want to do is communicate. It sounds dumb. You're in a competitive environment and everyone is here to win. Communication is definitely key. Don't moan down the mic, but at least give some nice communication. I appreciate it when it happens. I would think you would appreciate it when it happens. And a lot of people don't like speaking because obviously it's so much easier to be a keyboard warrior than actually speak to your team. When you do speak, in my opinion, it makes you actually human. A lot of people won't actually try and argue with you when you are actually speaking. I know some people on consoles aren't more like that. They don't mind arguing. But with PC alone, a lot of people would probably just prefer to type because they can get more frustration out, you know, typing as a warrior. But actual communication does help, especially telling where someone is. It can help a McCree set up his ult. It can help a Reinhardt where to position. It can help a Widow a lot taking out Mercies. It can do a lot for your team just on easy communication. I would definitely recommend jumping onto a mic, learning where your key is to speak, and definitely communicating. I will be 100% doing that with everyone in my games. This one is more for all you McCree players out there. Generally ulting is fun. Everyone knows ulting is hilariously fun, especially when it's on one person. It's even funnier because they get annoyed. I would recommend probably going for more global ult unless needed. So I'm saying, you know, if there's a Mercy and you know she's got res, don't not ult her, get her off the field because she's gonna res. But I mean, if you see, you know, someone not very impactful, I know that's hard to say, but say like a Roadhog, or that doesn't have ult. Okay, all these guys are hook. If your team's good enough, they can dodge it. There's no point burning an entire Pharaoh on him when 2 minutes later your team may lock them all down so you can land a 5-man ult. You know what I mean? So I would definitely recommend, you know, trying to save your ult for you know, 2 or 3 people if possible. 3 people would probably be your trigger to go for it. Next tip is going to be aim Mercy. It sounds dumb. Aim her. She's going to be in 90% of your games. I know she will, and I'm calling it here. It's all great playing Soldier or Reaper and getting that great 5-man ult, but does it even matter when she just jumps out of nowhere and reses the whole team and you have nothing to do about it? Definitely make sure she's dead, because her res comes up so quick. I play Mercy just for the fun of resin, because it's so hilarious seeing a Reaper jump from the top of a building, take out my whole team, and then me just resin him back up and he's just stuck in the middle of them. It's amazing feeling. Make sure she's dead, especially on someone who can easily kill her, like Soldier, like Roadhog. All them can kill her so easily. Don't leave it always down to your Winston or someone like that, even though Winston is quite strong at killing her because he has a lock on, but don't leave it down to someone when you know you can kill her very easily. She's probably better to kill than most people first. Tracer can kill her easily, so would definitely recommend killing Mercy. Same for Zenyatta. If you can get him out of the field, definitely do. What I would probably do is try and bait his ult. He's going to wait for his ult with a Genji ult, because that's always what happens. If you ult as Genji, a Zenyatta is normally there to ult, or if you ult as most people, a Zenyatta is there to ult. Obviously Winston counters that a lot, because Winston can smack him to the other side of the room, which is obviously a great point. Also, Reinhardt can smack him to the other side of the room as well, so that's obviously a good tip to learn. And you can still kill people while Zenyatta's ulted. It is quite hard, but still, you can do it, so don't think if you're playing Reaper you're completely irrelevant when he ults, because you can actually kill a lot of people, because Reaper has so much damage, he can just ace people. For probably my last tip is learning Roadhog, learning his hooks. He's a general, in my opinion, the easiest character to learn with the highest reward. He can take out power players. By power players, I mean them people that are going to be landing them 5-man kills. So when you hear High Noon, 9 times out of 10, your Roadhog can snag him. If you hear Pharaoh in the air, 9 times out of 10, he can snag him. Tracer zooming around the field, 9 times out of 10, he's going to snag her. Roadhog definitely is going to be a pick played a lot to counter all them strong picks. No one really destroys him in a one-on-one. He can generally beat a lot of people if he lands that hook. If he doesn't land the hook though, he's useless. Make sure you learn to hit them hooks, because they will work out perfectly if you do know how to use them. Especially a lot of teams will just fire shots into him because he is a tank after all, and that is how you take one down. He does have a big heal which heals him for 300. That's half his health bar, so make sure when he is drinking you try and boost that health down, because that's probably his weakest point. If he finishes his drink, he's probably going to hook you straight after. So make sure you look out for a Roadhog and you do know how to play a Roadhog, because he is going to be a very strong pick into competitive. So thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!